Hi, my name is Alan Lamont. I am doing another series on Lucifer, but this time covering more about Freemasonry. My last video talked about how Satan rules over his one world government, his one world religion. Well, Freemasonry is the worship of Lucifer. I touched on that briefly, as in the statements of Albert Pike, how that Lucifer is God. Now, the majority of Freemasons are deceived as to the true worship of the craft. When you cut through the outer shell of Masonry and you dig deep enough, you will find that it's really the worship of Lucifer. That was brought out very clearly by Albert Pike in his bold proclamations in Morals and Dogma. And also you will find, when you study Morals and Dogma, that Masonry is identical to the ancient Babylonian mysteries, and they're really satanic mysteries, for it is truly the worship of Lucifer. And this is the teachings of the 28th degree. So if you're a Freemason listening to this, I want you to understand that you are deliberately deceived into the true meanings of the symbols. Only really about 5% at the top understand that they worship Lucifer, and they call Jesus Christ an inferior God. And they never ever make mention of the Lord in their teachings or their rituals, which really should surprise a Mason. Many Masons believe that they're Christians, but the truth of the matter is that Lucifer is the one that is praised. When you reach the top of Masonry and you enter through the Knights of Malta and Knights Templar degrees, it is revealed to you at that point that they worship the spirit of darkness. They worship Lucifer, the son of the morning. Let me bring a quotation again from Albert Pike in his Morals and Dogma of the Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, on page 321, quote, "Lucifer the light bear a strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning, is he who bears the light, with its splendours intolerable. He blinds feeble, sensual, or selfish souls. Doubt it not." Now, Masons, from the very first initiation, or the first degree, they are told to seek the light, and they're given progressive light. The more that they are initiated in the degrees of Masonry, they're given more light, they're given more revelation. And the average Mason is continually saying that he is seeking the light. If you ask a Mason, and you're on the square and you're talking to a brother Mason, they'll always say they're seeking the light. And they spend their entire life moving towards that light, or greater illumination. But the light that is revealed in Masonry is not the revelation of the God of the Bible. It's the light of Lucifer. It's the illumination of Lucifer, the revelation of Lucifer. And of course, Masonry was written by the Jesuits, the high degrees. That's why you also see Vatican knighthoods throughout Masonry. Now, you can't believe in any God as a Mason. You can't be an atheist. You must believe in God. But Masonry is truly the work of the Jesuits of Rome, and it's truly a masterpiece of Satan. And they hide this occultic revelation of the devil and their worship of Lucifer through many of the Babylonian symbols and degrees. And people are given false revelation. It's satanic. That's what it is. Satanic organization. But every organization in the New World Order is built on the pyramid structure. Those in the low levels don't understand the power at the top. They don't understand what they worship. Also in Masonry you hear this quotation, "the seething energies of Lucifer within your hands." They believe they're given Luciferian power. That's what high Masons believe in the craft. Now, those at the lowest levels won't understand that. It's the same with the Vatican. The Luciferian, the hierarchical structure of the papacy is truly Luciferian, it's satanic. But the cardinals and the bishops and many of those in the lower levels don't understand this, of course. even though they're high-level Masons. Masonry covers the earth, so that's why it's important for me to bring out the revelation of this. Not just that it's Luciferian, but it's run by the Jesuits of Rome. They control high Masonry, always have, since the time of the Illuminati. And it's one big pyramid structure all across the earth. Now, the reason why I'm bringing out this revelation of Masonry is it is worldwide. As I've said, it covers the royal bloodlines. You find that very clearly that, for instance, London is dominated by Masonry. You have the Grandmother Lodge, which is the headquarters of World Masonry. You have the Duke of Kent, you have the Saxe-Coburg, House of Windsor, the royal bloodline in Britain. You have Parliament, the House of Lords, the Inner City Corporation, City of London, the Temple Bar, all ruled over by high Masonry. So we have to understand the true nature of Masonry. The craft is truly witchcraft. That's the truth. So when any Mason is admitted into the Masonry or the craft or the Brotherhood, what's really happening is they're making a blood oath. From the very first initiation, they're blindfolded and they make an oath. Not knowing who they're making the oath to, they're making it to the Superior General of the Society of Jesus. It's a blood oath, exactly like the Jesuit oath and the Vatican knighthood oaths. That if you disclose any of those secrets or you betray the Brotherhood, then you'll be put to death. It's a blood oath, blood in, blood out. Okay. Most Masons don't understand, really, that, to be honest. But when you get to the high levels and the high degrees, for instance, the 32nd and 33rd degree, then it's revealed to you that really you're under the power of the Jesuit general. And it's the worship of Satan. If you're a Mason, you need to leave Masonry. It's the only way to power. It's the pathway to power. So understand why a lot of Masons do it. I'm not talking about people in the lower level crafts degrees in the sense that they do it for business contacts. I mean politicians at the high levels. The only way they can be positioned in Europe or be positioned through the Knights of Malta is to be high level Masons. But I want you to know right now, if you're at that level, you are a Satanist. That is what you are. You worship Baphomet. And once you reach that level of the Knights Templars, then the Jesuit revelations reveal to you. Baphomet was the god of the Templars. That's why the Templars is the highest degree in Masonry. Baphomet was the head of a horned goat. Another title for Satan is Baphomet. Masonry is completely filled with occult satanic symbols, not just Babylonian. And really, truly, when you look at the structure of Masonry, you see the real religion of the priests of Satan. The priests of Satan are the Jesuit priests of Rome, and they wrote this structure. Albert Pike also linked Baphomet and the God of Mendes, and many of the symbols in Masonry, as I've said, they are truly satanic. And also you have the pentagram of the 33rd degrees, and you see a satanic pentagram, which is the highest degree there is in Masonry. If you're a Mason, you need to come out of Freemasonry. Renounce it. Give your life to Jesus Christ, because it is evil and satanic. But we do see the religion of the Jesuits of Rome here. The Jesuits are the ones that created Masonry, in the sense that they infiltrated it and Jesuitized it and illuminized it since the time of Adam Weishaupt. And it really was then used to infiltrate the royal houses of Europe and all governments across the earth. That's why the only way to power, the pathway to power, is to be a High Mason. And you see in Masonry many symbols. You see the utilizing of the good star with one point up rather than the most evil 5-pointed star. This goat's head of Mendes, truly the Masons use this symbol as a symbol of evil. And it's time for this to come out. And even when you look at the Masonic square and compass, or what's called the compass, square and rule, you see the G. That is not for the great God, the great architect of the universe. That is for the Church of the Jesu. You see Jesuit symbols within Masonry. The G is the sign for the Church of the Jesu, for it's truly the Black Pope, the Superior General today, that rules over high Masonry. You also see the all-seeing eye, the eye of Horus, the eye of the Society of Jesus, the Jesuit order. It's ruled by Rome. In fact, the Pope of Rome is the ultimate Grand Master, universal monarch. And high Masonry is all over the earth. You'll find Masons at the highest levels of the Vatican, the American government, the British government, the UN, the Parliament of World Religions, all religions, Masonic Islam over the Middle East. They're all high Masons under the power of the Black Pope, covertly, secretly, of course, they don't know that. But the highest Masons in Washington DC, the Scottish Rite, and the Grand Orient Lodge in France, and the Grandmother Lodge, they understand. It's the Black Pope today that rules over his worldwide Masonic power structure. Also, Masonry is used to control the intelligence community across the planet. That's how the Jesuits are able to control, through Masonry. And it is known that in order to reach a high position, you have to be a high Mason. Now, the Jesuits also bring people into the Vatican knighthoods through Masonry. This is what happened. But you see men like J. Edgar Hoover was a high 33rd degree Mason, Lyndon Johnson, all of them really. Even Winston Churchill, they're all high-level Masons. Tony Blair, the Bush bloodline, Skull and Bones, which is a Jesuit front organisation for the Jesuits of Rome, but they're all brought into Masonry. But let me bring a conclusion right now. It is the worship of Satan. That's what it is. Of course, they hide behind Babylonian symbols, but the fact is, once you reach the highest degree, the Knights Templar, then you're under the power of Satan. You're under the power of the Black Pope, and you are subordinate to his will. And if you're a Mason, I want you to really come out of it. Come out of it. Jesus Christ done everything in the open, he done nothing in secret. It's deception. And of course people do this, but I know Masons that have left the order, you know, and because they just were not getting revelation. They were digging into Babylonian symbols, trying to understand the mysteries of Babylon, and eventually, obviously they weren't brought into the Luciferian revelation, and they weren't knighted in the Vatican knighthoods. But the vast majority of Masons are within the order for power, for wealth, for fellowship, association, many motivations. Motivate people. But you must come out. Especially if you claim to be a Christian. You cannot be part of this one world Masonic structure, because it is a one world government and it is a one world religion. Ultimately, as I've said in my last video, it will be Masonry that will be used to build and govern Solomon's rebuilt temple, the ultimate agenda of the Society of Jesus. The Jesuits are the revived Knights Templars, and that is why they want to build Solomon's temple, and that is why they've created Solomon's temple to be at the heart of Masonry. And they will use Masonry to govern this at the Temple of Mount Moriah. But let me just also say, every single Vatican knighthood is governed by Masonry. This is the Knights of Malta, the Knights of St. Gregory, the Knights of St. Lazarus, the Knights of St. George, the Order of the Garter, Knights of Columbus. They're all high-level Masons in the highest structure. Of course, it's all pyramid power structure. Just remember that. Remember, whatever organisation it is, it's only those at the top that are illuminated. Only those at the top have their eyes opened. Only those at the top have revelation. Everyone else at the lower levels are always blinded, always left in the dark. My name is Alan Lamont, and if you are a Mason, come out of Babylon, come out of it. It's controlled by Rome. It's Egyptian, Babylonian. It's not Christianity.